Every year, thousands of Brits head to Europe in search of a dream.
To a dad, that is just pure pleasure.
This is heaven on earth.
But sunshine and scenery and a great lifestyle need to be paid for.
My bank is empty. We've got nothing left.
So to fund their fairy tale,
Get your little fishy when the boat comes in.
brave Brits are taking the plunge and going into business. On this series, we follow those expats,
Dave, you got any euros?
setting up anything from bars and boat charters in Spain to vineyards and B&Bs in France.
Not happy. Not happy.
But will they flourish?
We're going to do it, we must do it properly.
Or will they fail?
Money doesn't grow on trees.
It is life or death.
And can they really make a life in the sun pay?
Fans broke down.
You are joking.
It went bang.
On today's show,
I have no relationship in the UK. I've got nothing to go back for.
it's decision time for the owner of Marbella's newest boot camp.
If I had to choose between finding the love of my life and the business, I would choose the business.
As the season closes at this British-run dive centre,
My accountant, when I took the invoices to her, her face actually went white.
will these expats risk all their profits again?
And I'm an ambitious bugger. Nice one, everyone.
And a shock for the Brits trying to break into the French wine business.
Well, I've broken my leg.
The Costa del Sol in Andalusia, Spain's top destination for fun in the sun. This area enjoys more than 3,000 hours of sunshine a year, almost double the UK average. There are about 8 million residents in Andalusia, 8% of whom are expats. Among them are Brits Simon and Natasha Bell and their son Reuben.
Flower
Who is it for?
for Ruben.
Oh, it's for Ruben! Is it not for Mummy?
Former journalists Simon and Natasha have moved here from London to run their own dive centre.
There's our house just down there. Across the fields, our nearest neighbour is on another hill over there. And this compares to where I used to live, on the Mile End Road in the East End of London, in a studio flat that's about the size of this and cost the same amount in rent as our 150-year-old converted farmhouse.
The couple have been running a dive centre in the resort of Torremolinos for 7 years. 6 months ago, they expanded, buying another dive centre in the Costa del Sol's trendiest town, Marbella. It's now nearly the end of season
If he has some spare paint, would he do our step?
and time to do some maintenance.
This is the boss of the port. He's a good guy. If you have a little spare of that lovely blue, could he do my step?
Oh, on the step in blue.
Yeah.
Yes, sure.
Oh, really?
Yes, sure.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You see, it just goes to show, if you don't ask, you don't get, right?
I know. Quien no llora no
She's
mama.
too polite. Sorry?
In Spanish is quien no llora no mama.
If you don't cry, you don't get booby.
Nice when you have a baby.
Yeah. So if you don't cry, you don't get booby.
Ah, booby. I didn't know that was booby.
But it's also time to take stock and decide if the expansion's been a success.
Come on, Vinny, we know you're old.
I can't help it if I dive with style.
Simon's team have worked flat out to establish their new dive centre. A job which has had its ups
1, 2, 3.
and its downs.
Fans broke down.
You are joking.
It went bang.
This year has really been just paying off the investment. So, yeah, the coming year and the coming years will definitely be able to afford to expand even more. When you see something grow slightly, you can see then the capacity for it to grow really, really big.
Now the season has ended and it's time to count the cash.
The last couple of days has just been the deadline to hand all of our accounts into our accountant. And it probably is the most hellish part of the entire season. For the 2 dive centres, we can have anything up to 30 or 40 invoices on a busy day. So my accountant, when I took the invoices to her a couple of days ago, her face actually went white.
It's been lots of paperwork for Natasha, but the takings are looking good.
All black, ninja style.
And Simon thinks he knows exactly where they should spend all that profit.
Sometime in the very near future, we'll have Simply Diving number 3 in Gibraltar.
See, I just blanked that out of my mind for the moment. I'm enjoying my sleep at the moment, and I would like to just continue enjoying my sleep that little bit longer.
Natasha has not been keen to risk their savings again to open another dive centre.
I don't know if we are ready for Gibraltar yet.
And that's exactly what you said about Marbella.
Despite Natasha's misgivings, Simon is determined to push until he gets what he wants, even raising the subject at a night out with his parents.
We don't need Gibraltar.
Oh, yes, we do.
There's a lovely Greek saying that says, the husband is the head of the family, but it's the woman who turns the neck. I will be turning the neck.
Away from Gibraltar. Here we have the confirmation of the setting up of the company. We even know that we have a space in Marina Village. We've done all the hard work, all the homework, all the paperwork, although Natasha wasn't too pleased about the idea.
With the autumn season looming, will Simon manage to convince Natasha to put everything on the line once again and open up their Gibraltar dive centre? Southwest France, a draw for millions of tourists each year, many of whom are lured by its world-famous wines. In this area, about 1,000 registered vineyards grow a variety of selected regional grapes. Sue and Humphrey Temperley moved to this area to produce their own wine after selling their farm in Somerset. Now they're settled in the village of Gajac-et-Rouillac.
England has become, over my lifetime, incredibly crowded, incredibly stressy, and I don't actually miss any of that. No traffic noise, no hassle, no commuting to work, all of those kind of things are great.
But after years of bad weather and mistakes in timing previous harvests, Sue and Humphrey haven't turned a profit yet.
You wouldn't want to be harvesting that this week, would you?
If they don't get a good crop this year, they will be forced to give up the vineyard.
There's no plan B about this project. We make this project work, or we have to sell up and go and live in a bungalow by the seaside.
This year, Sue and Humphrey think they're onto a winner. The weather has been ideal so far, with the right mixture of sunshine and rain. And they've managed to keep their vines healthy and strong.
This is our 6th summer, and I hope we'll all enjoy the wine.
But now they're faced with a big decision, one that they got wrong in the past. When exactly should they harvest their grapes?
We have to wait for the Malbec to be ripe before we can really harvest the Muller.
It's nearly autumn and the weather could turn any moment and ruin the crop. But Humphrey is feeling lucky and has decided to gamble and postpone harvest for a week in the hope of more sunshine.
They aren't fully ripe, and so if I was really jumpy and worried, I could take them now and deal with some of the consequences, but I'd much rather leave them out there for another week and get a super quality product, which is what we will do if they don't come to some horrible end in the meantime. If you want something good, you've got to go for it, and going for it means taking some risks.
But a risk of a different sort has caused unexpected new problems.
Right, do you want to be on this or do you want that?
Well, I've broken my leg.
Just before the start of the red grape harvest, Humphrey has fallen over and badly injured himself.
Got very tired on Saturday evening and missed my footing coming down from top of one of the wine tanks. Swung down and fell onto the concrete wall, so now got 2 pins in my upper leg, upper tibia. Right, let's see if that gets into that one. And can't put much weight on it for a month or so.
This is a massive blow. Not only was Humphrey due to direct operations on harvest day, But he was also going to be the only tractor driver.
So let your bit slack, Sue. Now supervise and wave my crutches and get the harvest finished.
His apprentice, ex-cook Matt, is standing in for Humphrey, but he's never driven a tractor before.
We won't laugh at you, we promise.
So today, Sue and Humphrey are putting him through his paces. If he can't get it right, they'll have to hire a driver and cut into their profits.
It's quite difficult driving big trailers backwards, which you can't see where you're going. Some people can do it, some people can't. And the people who are kind of hopeless at reversing trailers. Well done. Well done, good.
Spot on. That's amazing.
It's a job well done for Matt. But when harvest day comes, he will have to do this manoeuvre many times with a loaded trailer. Sue and Humphrey's future rests on this harvest. Now they're one man down. Will they pull it off? The Spanish town of Marbella is the most glamorous place on the Costa del Sol. It's the second greenest city in Europe, with just 23% of its land urbanised. Here, €20 million villas rub shoulders with flats costing just €80,000. Rosanna Gorman from Doncaster has given up her job as a medical rep and poured more than £35,000 into starting up a residential boot camp and fitness centre.
Since I got here, I feel, much better in myself. I love this weather. I love being in the sun. It makes me feel better. It's like paradise, isn't it? Beautiful.
Rosanna is renting a 5-bedroom villa that can cater for up to 11 people.
It's a very, very good place. Very nice.
And she has given herself a year to see if she should make this move permanent.
I do like to watch them. I sometimes watch them when they don't think I'm watching as well, which is quite good.
It's been a slow start with just 30 customers in the first 5 weeks.
Hi, how you doing?
So Rosanna is trying to drum up business using an online consultant to update her marketing.
This is your storefront.
Well, there's no other way for people to find me other than online.
Yeah, and then
really. The things that I'm worried about, obviously, are not getting enough customers and not being able to go forward.
Rosanna is also exploring the local markets for quality products to improve the food on offer for her guests.
Wow, this is amazing. Look at this. Just fruit and vegetables everywhere.
And it seems like things are looking up. Rosanna just welcomed her first returning guest. Lisa, who signed up for a week of one-to-one intensive training to get the dream body she's always wanted.
Fabulous. That's great. You can get off now. Okay. So we'll do exactly the same measurements we did last time. So we'll do the bust, the waist, the hips, the thigh and bicep. Okay, so we've got all your measurements and your weight, and then we'll look at again the end of this week from the beginning of the week and see what the differences are.
It's not necessarily about what I want to lose, it's what I want to feel like in my clothes, etc. The inches and everything that come off my body rather than the weight.
Rosanna has miles of sandy beaches just a kilometre away from the villa.
Ready?
They are the perfect location to put Lisa through her intensive training programme.
Couple more. Oh, I love working in sand. I love it. I've got sand where sand really shouldn't be. First mission accomplished. 4 kilometres. Done. That's hard work. I think we deserve a little rest now. You saw a lot more flesh here. So people just seem to look after themselves more here than you would find in the UK. Everybody's into fitness. You see loads of people jogging and running and, all the time. What more could you want? It's not a bad job, really, is it?
But to keep her dream job, Rosanna needs to make sure clients keep coming. So she has decided to sign up for an exclusive business networking event.
This is Ellen and Derek, they're friends of mine. They are involved in the networking events and so on in Malaga, and they told me about this event and said it would be good for me to meet people because I don't get out much.
Ellen and Derek have lived in Spain for many years and know a lot of British expats in the area. Their aim is to boost local businesses by putting local entrepreneurs in touch with each other.
There could be some business networking. You meet someone, they're offering a service that you actually need. Oh, great.
Hopefully I'll speak to some of them. Hi, excuse me, I'm really sorry to interrupt. What's your name?
Alice.
Alice, I'm Rosanna. Nice to meet you.
Spanish way.
Spanish way, definitely. I run a company called Aurora Boot Camp, and it's for people who want to get fitter, lose some weight. It's quite nerve-wracking to do it sometimes. There's me, the personal me, who is actually quite shy and would die if I had to do these things. And then there's like the business side of me who just goes and does it. We're absolutely gluten-free and lactose-free, so there's no bread, no cheese.
Over 400 people have been invited to the event.
Hola.
And Rosanna is keen not to miss any potential new business contacts.
Do you know what my business is?
No. Despite the nerves, Rosanna manages to work the whole room.
Making some decisions.
And finds a promising new lead.
I've met Alice. She's actually a yoga teacher, so we're probably going to go out and do lunch and talk about things. So she's absolutely fantastic. So that's going to be really good.
At the end of a night of networking, Rosanna is feeling much more connected and confident.
It's been excellent. Everyone I've spoken to is like wanted to add me on Facebook and wanting to meet me for lunch, and it's been really good. Loved it.
But only time will tell if Rosanna's new business contacts mean more work for her boot camp. In Gajac-et-Rouillac, southwest France, finally it's harvest day for Sue and Humphrey Temperley.
To say when the grapes get this ripe, it is one of the best parts of the job. I love it.
After a few unprofitable years, this harvest is make or break for their business. The grapes look good, but they are short of a winemaker, Humphrey, who has broken his leg.
It's just as well they shaved your leg.
When you go to a French chemist, normally end up with a carry bag of stuff. In this case, it was a bit more extreme than that. Now I've got 2 pins in my upper leg. I can't put much weight on it for a month or so.
Their most important harvest is about to start, but Humphrey is under strict doctor's orders not to do any work. It's 8 a.m.
So the plan for this morning is the harvester will arrive hopefully in the next 10 minutes, quarter of an hour. The harvester will harvest the grapes and Matthew will bring them from where the harvester is in the field with the tractor and trailer into the shay. And then we pump the grapes from the trailers into the big vats.
It's been a long slog to produce the perfect crop. Apprentice Matt will have the crucial job of bringing home the grapes today.
A lot of anticipation. I've been here for 6 months now, so I've been waiting for this day. I was up since 5 with butterflies in my stomach, getting really excited, so looking forward to it.
What could go wrong?
It's not long before the grape harvester arrives.
Right on time as well.
This €300,000 beast is shared with the neighbouring vineyards. When harvest starts, it will travel along the vine, sucking off the grapes like a giant vacuum cleaner.
Mathieu?
Once harvested, Apprentice Matt will load the grapes and tow them back to the tanks with his tractor, a job he's never done before.
If there's any problem, just hoot.
Okay. I only started driving the tractor and trailer yesterday properly. Had half an hour's rehearsals and did a few backings in. So it's learning quick in the deep end, really. There's a lot riding on it. Obviously, there's a harvester there worth hundreds of thousands. One little move wrong and I could crash into that. I've obviously got the tractor and the trailer, which is worth a lot of money, and the load as well. It's the whole year's work riding on this, really.
Sue and Humphrey's livelihood depends on the success of this harvest.
I just want to tell Humphrey it started, but he isn't answering his phone at the moment. So he probably hasn't got it with him. But I thought he had, actually.
Humphrey's disappearance remains a mystery, but not for long.
Ah! It is Humphrey.
Despite being banned from driving, he's come to the field on a tractor.
I was just ringing you to say that he's here.
The doctor will be really happy.
I'm afraid I'm not a very good patient, and I don't like being told what to do. I don't like being confined to bed. And no, I don't really like people telling me what I have to do.
Only Humphrey probably would drive a tractor with a broken leg.
But that's enough driving for Humphrey for the day.
Bonjour. Ça va bien? Oui. Ah, deux vis. Ah, c'est bien.
It's apprentice Matt who will take the first load of grapes back to base. But is he ready to fill Humphrey's boots? As Matt reverses towards the harvester, he can count on the help and direction of his boss.
Just wait to see where he comes to? Yeah.
How lucky.
No, whoa! Okay. No, back. Whoa! Oh! Watch him. Okay.
Matt was inches away from crashing into the €300,000 harvester.
He was doing something very annoying, not concentrating on driving, and so I told him off.
He's quite bossy. Delegation isn't you, really.
I don't mind so much about my machine, but the shared machine is very expensive, and luckily no harm was done. On the first one, I was looking at the grapes going into the trailer rather than keeping my eye on the harvester, so that's why Humphrey got a little bit stressed. But now I know that I don't take my eyes off that man.
But this is only the first of 6 trailer loads they need to get in. Can Matt avoid more potentially costly mistakes? In Marbella on the Costa del Sol, Rosanna Gorman has been putting returning guest Lisa through her paces during a week-long stay at her boot camp retreat, the Aurora.
God, that's hard.
Rosanna has devised this whole programme specifically for Lisa, and Lisa's final weigh-in tomorrow will confirm if her strategy has worked. Only 10 weeks ago, Rosanna was living in the UK with her boyfriend and working as a medical rep.
So these are all notes that I'm doing now.
She's still wondering whether her move to Spain will be permanent, but her private life has recently taken a dramatic turn.
You get pictures of areas that you wouldn't necessarily want to see.
She recently split up with her British boyfriend and has been dating in Marbella.
Oh my God. That'll be a no. Basically what happens on here is you put in what age group I want, and it'll basically bring up pictures of people that fit that criteria. I've been on a couple of dates with Spanish men. Spanish men are very different to UK men. Spanish men are just so intense. It's like you go on one date with them and it's like they want to marry you. Don't you know what I say about myself? I live and work near Marbella, looking to meet new people who can show me the local area and maybe someone who I can practice my Spanish with.
Rosanna is at a crossroads in her life, with no ties left in the UK.
Basically, you're just going on looks. And it's actually quite addictive. It's terrible.
Rosanna will soon have to decide whether the move to Spain is permanent. But she knows she has to get her priorities right.
If I had to choose between finding the love of my life and the business, I would choose the business. Because that's what I came to Spain for. I can always find someone later on. If I let the business fail now, there's no recovery from that, is there?
And today is a big day for Rosanna's business. It's returning customer Lisa's final weigh-in at Aurora. Now Rosanna will find out if the training programme she's designed is a winning formula that can be rolled out.
Morning!
Lisa arrived determined to lose weight to feel good in a bikini. But has Rosanna's fitness regime and diet done the trick?
So this is the big day, the weigh-in. How you feeling?
Nervous.
Nervous? You've worked damned hard.
It's time for Lisa to face the scales.
Okay, step on.
So that is 4.5 off.
£4.5.
Yeah.
You can see my belly.
I can see a massive difference there. My fat woman.
It seems like Rosanna's first one-to-one training week has paid off.
Okay, so £4.5 off, 2 centimetres off your bust, 6 centimetres off your waist, 4 centimetres off your hips, and 1 off your bicep. Well done. Are you pleased with that?
Yeah, definitely.
Good.
Definitely.
She's done amazingly well. She should be very proud of herself.
I would definitely recommend it. You know, you get rid of everything, you come out, there's no computer, there's no phone, there's just sun and the beach, and the training is really good. Everybody's so motivating, so yeah, it's very good.
Thank you for everything.
And I'll see you hopefully in September.
Thanks very much, Rosie.
Every single customer who's been to me has given fantastic feedback. I've had no one really who has said, you know, they didn't like it, they wouldn't come back.
Rosanna knows the regular returning business will be the key to success for her and her clients.
A lot of the reasons why people have come here is to sort of find themselves, and you can't really do that in a week. You know, it's not a quick fix thing, it's a long-term thing.
Just 10 kilometres down the road is Marbella Port, where it's the end of the summer season.
So everything else feel okay?
Simon and Natasha Bell's diving centre is finally winding down after months of flat-out diving. The couple have taken a rare day off. They're spending it with their son Reuben in the hills surrounding their house.
Well, everything he says sounds like you.
Oh, does it? Okay.
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 Come on then, let's do our walking.
It's so lovely just to see Reuben growing up in this outdoor environment. I don't think he would have that as much if he lived in the UK.
Simon and Natasha have worked hard this year to establish their new dive centre. Will this couple risk everything they have once again by following Simon's expansion plans to Gibraltar?
I'm just one of these people, I get bored very easily, you know? Things kind of reach a plateau and it's nice, and then it just gets a little bit boring. So you have to think of something else to do. Hello, how you doing?
Today, all the staff of the diving centre have been summoned to a restaurant in Marbella for a much-awaited announcement.
Because they know what I'm like, they know that if ever there's an announcement, it's always going to be something bigger and better. They know I'm an ambitious bugger. Natasha has a few things she'd like to say. Oh, here we go. Okay. You stand up and you start there.
Very quickly, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you to all of you. I never imagined that in expanding, we would have such a good year, and it's all down to you. Thank you. Honestly, it really does. You have improved our quality of life.
But following their explorations of the Gibraltar dive sites, the staff's eyes are firmly on the boss, Simon, as he prepares to make his speech.
It's been a very, very special year for Simply Diving. And the great news is, of course, that you knowing that I get very bored very, very easily, is that, of course, Simply Diving is going to expand even further. And, we're going to tackle a little part of the UK, which is Gibraltar. And obviously, we're going to need you guys here. We're going to need you for that. We've already got an official company registered in Gibraltar. Thank you, everyone, for your really, really hard work this year. I would not swap any of you lot for anybody. I wouldn't even swap Vinny. Nice one, guys.
Despite Natasha's reservations, once again, boss Simon has decided to power on with his expansion plans, aiming to open next summer. It's great news for the staff, but a risk for the company.
Gibraltar's got a really good dive sites. That's going to be great. Can't wait, actually. The more I think about it, it's like, yeah, definitely. Really up for that. Can't wait.
Of the two of us, I'm definitely more resistant to the
Gibraltar project. Not resistant permanently. It's really good to have that plan there. But right now, all I can think about is the end of season, putting my feet up and recharging really for a new year. Right, let's go! Simon!
Hang on a minute.
It's time to celebrate the achievements of a bunch of British expats and their Spanish colleagues.
Going up in the sky.
And look forward to a bright future.
Quite big things happening, yeah. And we're really going to need all their help as well, so.
Wow, look, it's gone up to the sky. Hopefully, they'll all be on board with us and help to see us through to the next stages as well. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
It's harvest day at Sue and Humphrey Templey's Chateau Leicester Veni.
They are sweet, juicy and delicious.
Absolutely perfect.
Its owner's dream of a life in France rests on today. They need to get a bumper crop and bring it home safely, all with an injured winemaker.
How's your leg feeling now? Fine.
And an apprentice standing in.
When you see the thingies tip up and tip all those grapes into the trailer and you think, well, that's basically 11 3/4 months work of pruning and tying and all the rest of it, and that's the result. So when it's a huge full trailer like that, it really is amazing.
Looks like quite a decent volume, and the quality is very nice. So everything I could ask for, really.
Now with the first load of grapes in the trailer, Matt has to reverse it without damaging the grapes or the machinery.
Go forward again. Stop!
He's had a narrow escape with the harvester earlier. Phew, Matt's cracked it. And after nearly 12 months spent on the vine, it's time for the grapes to be pumped into the vats.
Susie, could you start the motor? Yes, please. Yep.
For their red wine, Humphrey will let the whole grapes ferment in the tanks along with their juice. This will give the wine its body and colour. Another tank is reserved just for the grape juice, which will become rosé wine.
So we'll do 2 more trailers, and then the last trailer we'll take some rosé out of.
Trailer after trailer is collected. After 6 difficult years, this looks like a bumper crop, so hopefully they can finally turn a profit.
This harvest looks like it'll put us on a really good footing, but you still can't count your chickens until the wine's actually made, but obviously today is most of the steps down the road.
And with the weather holding off, they're able to keep the grapes coming.
I'm very happy with today. We've done good 2/3 of the reds, and we've done all the whites now. So we've done 3/4 of our harvest, and we've got quite a lot more than we got in altogether last year. It's in very good condition, very nice quality, and it's as good as I could have expected.
It's basically been a dream day, just because we've harvested so much. It's beautiful quality. It hasn't had a hailstorm to ruin it. We might have to pinch ourselves.
I probably would be jumping for joy, only I've got a bit of a problem. I can do a one-legged jump, I guess.
Humphrey might be happy with the abundance of the crop this year, but to find out for sure if the wine is any good, he will have to wait for 6 more weeks until the grapes are fermented. It's now 6 months since Rosanna Gorman left Doncaster in South Yorkshire to set up her own boot camp fitness centre in southern Spain. She has given herself a year to make a success of the business, but at the halfway point, Rosanna's already beginning to draw some conclusions.
Since I opened in February, I've had people here every single week. Some weeks I've had up to 7, and some weeks I've only had 2. I thought there would be a couple of weeks at least in between where I didn't have anyone, but there hasn't been at all, which has been good.
Hola!
So after a slow start, it means she's averaged over 3 guests a week, the number she needs to break even.
Oh my goodness, it's been a whirlwind, an absolute whirlwind. Probably the first 6 or 7 weeks was just horrendous because I was doing everything myself. I was doing all the cooking, all the cleaning, all the transfers, very hard work, which I didn't mind the hard work. So now that I'm a lot more organised and a lot more chilled out, I've kind of got into the Spanish way of life a bit more chilled, which is good.
It's now the height of summer, with temperatures reaching 35 degrees almost every day. Rosanna has decided to give herself a much-needed summer break.
Anything to report broken or no? That's great. And the bathroom, everything okay in there?
Everything's okay in the bathroom.
She's handing back the villa to its owner and will be renting it again from September.
It's sort of the rundown to the end of the first season, really. July and August we will close because it's just too hot to do the kind of things that we're doing. So July and August will be my time to take stock of everything, see how things have gone. There was a lamp broken last week, so there'll be one missing from here.
There's one missing?
Yeah, one missing from there. I will change the website somewhat. I'll concentrate on my social media throughout the summer, so that's something that's, become very apparent as being very important.
But first, Rosanna needs to make one final journey back to Doncaster to move out permanently from the home that she and her ex-boyfriend have shared for the past 8 years.
There's a few bits and pieces, like some of these I would quite like to take to Spain with me. Things like this. You don't really want furry cushions and throws, do you, in Spain? Probably a bit hot. I should just get rid, really. Start again. One of the reasons I came to Spain was because I wanted a complete fresh start. There's no reason for me to go back to the UK. I have nothing there. I have no relationship in the UK. I don't have kids. I've got nothing to go back for. Why would I?
With her boot camp villa rented out, Rosanna is moving into a small apartment in the Andalusian mountains to make preparations for when she reopens in September.
There's an awful lot going on behind the scenes to ensure from September onwards everything's gonna go with a bang, basically.
And she's sure she's on the right track to success.
It's just an opportunity that I've given myself. No one else has given it to me, I've given it to myself. Given myself this opportunity to change my life, do what I want to do for a change. I do want to show people that I can do things on my own and that I don't particularly need anyone else to help me with that. I can do it on my own, which is where I want to be, really.
Chateau Lesterverny in southwest France. It's 5 weeks since Humphrey and Sue's red grape harvest.
Well, we could say we were home and wet, really, as opposed to home and dry. You're never dry here.
After a bumper crop, they're checking on the fermentation.
OK, that's lovely.
This is the most crucial moment of the year.
A bit hard.
When they find out if the wine's good enough for them to turn a profit.
By the end of the day, we'll have all our wine in the tanks, ready to blend and bottle and everything else that goes afterwards.
Humphrey may be able to walk again, but won't be able to do any hard work. So apprentice Matt is stepping in. Again.
With a dodgy leg at the moment, my shovelling abilities are limited. And so I'm relegated to a sort of supervisory pottering around role for today.
Oh, I thought the supervisor was the boss.
Well, perhaps. Well, who's the boss?
Are there many berries on the top?
There is, yeah. Can we get them out now?
No, let's do that another day. We don't. As long as you can reach them.
Quite a lot of juice to that.
Oh, it smells wonderful, doesn't it?
It's also quite alcoholic in the air as well. It starts to make you feel a little bit lightheaded.
After After spending the last 6 weeks together in the tank, the grapes will be separated from the wine. Once Humphrey sees the grapes, he'll be able to tell if the wine will be any good. Humphrey finally has a chance to check if the grapes are fermented properly.
There's a berry that's come through the pressing and so on, virtually intact. It's actually not been squashed at all. If you can do that with your grapes, it actually does produce really good quality wine.
With a bumper crop and a perfect fermentation, Sue and Humphrey are on their way to their first successful year.
There we are.
They have just one last check to make, tasting the fruits of their labour.
Well done, well done. Every end of the what's proving to be a really good year. So.
Yeah, that's going to be probably our best ever, I'd say.
Yeah, it's as good as I could have hoped for. I think we'll probably bottle about 10,000, 12,000 bottles of this because it's.
That's a lot for us. Well, you know, I wish we'd done this 20 years ago, really. It's fantastic, and the younger you start, the longer you'll have.
It's such a beautiful place, such beautiful wildlife, and it is, yeah, a lot of people's dream, and we are very lucky to be stewards of it. And we were very lucky to find this place. And very lucky to find this wife.
This year, Sue and Humphrey have harvested enough wine to fill 120,000 bottles, 60,000 more than last year. This means that for the first time, they've finally made a profit, and their dream of being wine producers can continue. In Marbella, Rosanna has had 60 customers since reopening the boot camp. She's decided to move into a bigger villa, even closer to the centre of town. At the dive centre, Simon has been looking for a new boat to use in Gibraltar. He's trying to convince Natasha to part with €50,000 and still hoping to be open in time for the summer season.
Awesome! Mission success! Fantastic!
Next time, another set of great escapers hoping to make a living in the sun. Can this chef turn a chaotic kitchen
We've found a huge amount of cockroaches
into a top-class restaurant?
because you're starting to get worried, you know. We don't want to run out of money before we open the place up.
2 Londoners moved to France to open a B&B.
Our living room in London, I think you'd fit in 4 times.
But will car trouble end the dream before it even begins?
There's petrol just spewing out of it.
And can a carvery pub on the beautiful Costa
Are you all right, mate?
All right, no.
put the romance back into a marriage?
In fact, some days I don't even know if we like each other, to be fair. Do we?
I don't know, do we?
I don't think so.
It's a dream chased by thousands of Brits each year.
Number one's the weather.
Heading to Europe to set up new lives and businesses in the sun.
Are you ready?
They're seduced by gorgeous scenery.
It's just about the space out here. There's so much space.
Year-round sun and a better, cheaper way of life.
Our living room in London, you'd fit in 4 times.
But how easy is it to turn the dream into a reality?
Money's dripping in and flooding out.
In this series, we follow those expats as they say goodbye, Blighty.
I think I'm full.
And begin their new lives, setting up bars and restaurants in Spain.
That's what we're talking about, girlfriend.
Gîtes and B&Bs in France.
Totally and utterly out of my depth.
When nothing is ever as simple as it sounds.
It's probably not good for my blood pressure, yes.
It can fail, but it won't fail. Not if I've got anything to do with it.
On today's show, as they prepare to open their new bar in Spain.
How much?
These great escapers try to break through the language barrier.
If there's a sign that says $8.99, you can say that. Done.
Very good, darling. If I put those on, it actually makes your job look a lot better.
A husband and wife team build their dream house in France.
We've got a hand-picked selection of the best builders available. Helen, and me. Oh, there's your other foot, darling.
One small, one large. I'm never going to assume.
And one tough businessman finally cracks.
You're not scared, are you? Absolutely, yes I am.
The Costa del Sol, southern Spain, one of the most laid-back countries in the world. According to a recent report, Spanish people devote on average 16 out of 24 hours a day to relaxation, eating, drinking and sleeping. But the Jones family from Wigan have decided they want a piece of the Spanish action and have just bought the licence for this bar.
Well, kids, this is ours. We've got to make it.
Yeah, we'll make it easy. I've always loved Spain. I've been coming here since I was about 6 and I feel at home here. I've never really felt at home in any of the other countries that I've been to.
Once they're open, they plan to attract customers with their unique mix of British food and dance music.
We're hoping to be that destination pub. Oh, that bar, it's brilliant. Let's go back there.
Well, those old ones are working, you just sat there.
About time.
Despite having no water or electricity, last week the Joneses started renovations on the pub. They only have €1,500 left in their budget, so they'll have to spend their money wisely.
We're on a big budget shoestring.
By the skin of our teeth.
Yeah, very much so.
But once we get going and we can open up, the more we spend money, the more we'll be making money. We'll literally be speculating to accumulate.
But the renovations are now on hold. They need to stump up more money for the rent on their new house.
We now have a big problem as we needed your deposit for our deposit.
As there's been a misunderstanding between the English landlord and the Spanish estate agent.
I've no money. I've no money spare that I can give.
If Wendy pays the extra €500, she might not have enough left to open the bar.
What a mess.
But if she doesn't pay, their dream of a life in the sun may come to a sudden end as they face being evicted.
When you've only got so much, you've only got so much. You have to live by your budget.
Within just 3 hours of moving in and not knowing whether they will ever come back to this house, the Joneses return to the estate agent to see if there's any room for negotiation.
Well, we've gone to see if we can sort out what the actual owner of the house wants. So it's either she says, right, give me what you can and pay the rest in instalments, or we can't have the house, simple as. We're stuffed, basically.
You have to pay me now 500 more.
What are our options now? Because obviously
The only option is that you pay the €500 now. Ellos te van a pagar ese otro mes.
You need to learn the language.
One little tiny little misunderstanding.
If you don't cross the T's and dot the I's, you're buggered.
Yeah.
I'm happy to get the 500 to her as soon as I physically can. Because obviously we're coming into the season now and we should be earning.
After 90 minutes of intense haggling by Wendy and Becca, their efforts finally pay off. The landlord agrees to give the Joneses some breathing space.
They are strong women and they've got broad shoulders. I will put my foot in when I'm positive that they need it. Because if I do it prematurely, that's it. All hell breaks loose.
we've got from the 8th to the 13th to come up with €500, pretty much 4 weeks to get that money. I need a drink too.
The new agreement with the landlord means the Joneses won't be homeless and can keep on living the dream.
as far as it goes in the contract, we don't pay that 500 anymore, but if we miss our deadline date of paying every month, we have to vacate the property immediately. I didn't understand. It's so confusing.
So now they can get on with buying fittings for the bar.
Will we take credit card? Do you take card?
See.
Credit card? See? Right.
And James is keen to avoid any further misunderstandings about money today.
If you don't know $8.99 in their language, if there's a sign that says $8.99, you can say that. Done. You know, language barrier broken, done.
If only you could have done that with the landlord. Back at the villa, the relieved family can unpack. Again.
All I want is a cold drink.
I was frightened we were going to be homeless tonight. We've got no choice now, we've got to make it home.
As soon as them stuff come out of the car, they ain't going back in, I'm sorry.
No, okay.
Agreed?
Yes, son-in-law. Next big challenge, the bar.
Yeah.
But we'll deal with that tomorrow. I don't want to think about that tonight.
90 kilometres down the road on the Costa del Sol, the town of Fuengirola was a traditional fishing port, which has now become one of southern Spain's main tourist destinations. This country has the second highest number of bars per inhabitants, the first being Cyprus.
You are so rude.
It's now home to best friends of 15 years, Gary Adamson and Karen Hiles, who've ploughed all their savings into opening Sam's Bar.
€6, thank you. Thank you. I'm very happy at this moment in time. Life couldn't be better.
12 months ago, Karen, we had nothing.
Nothing.
Life is good.
We're living the dream.
Living the dream. We're happy.
No,
Yeah,
we're happy. Yeah,
we're happy.
definitely.
Right, that's it. Finished it. Lovely, thank you.
But after a great start to the season,
Get it!
they've suffered a power cut.
2 phases are working, 1 phase isn't. Obviously, it's affected business this evening because we've got to turn people away.
Today, an electrician has come to try and identify what has gone wrong with the power supply.
I don't want to risk anything. The electrician is actually now in the main box. There is a dodgy wire in there which he thinks that could be the problem. So he's actually just testing all the different areas in the box now. So fingers crossed he can resolve the problem. Any luck?
This cable
Yeah.
is very hot.
Hot,
It's
too much.
power, this
Too
cable.
much, yeah. Mm.
Today you work.
Ah, thank you, thank you.
It seems like he's fixed the fuse box.
Let's try the till, hold on.
Now time to test if it works.
Let's try this one. Yes, 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 yes. Alfonso. It's actually a big fuse that's gone. It's controlling everything on the back line there. And we think that we're feeding too much into that one fuse. It's actually burnt out. Yes! We can hear a buzz. So, temporary fix for today to get us up and running. And then tomorrow, I'll come back and get us up and running properly. But we have a temporary fix for today, so we're going to be operational, which is really, really good news. This one's not working still. That's the only one that's not working. I'm not worried. No, that's one. No, that's one. Oh, no, that's not. It helps if you turn the switch on.
Thankfully, Gary and Karen can now concentrate on making the most of the summer season. It's now mid-June when an estimated 1 million tourists descend on the Costa del Sol from all over Europe.
That's what happens when you're in your first year of your business, you get them full bloody sugar at home. Oh, here comes the boss.
There's no rest for these business partners.
You look good and fresh today. I was joking.
It's 6 a.m. and Gary and Karen are hoping the start of another busy day. Sam's might have enjoyed some early success, but Gary and Karen can't rest on their laurels.
Not having your breakfast? It's because you don't do mornings.
With over 500 bars waging a daily battle for customers, they are monitoring online rankings to measure their popularity.
So we get a lot of business on the back of TripAdvisor. It's a very powerful tool, isn't it? It is. I mean, when we first opened on it, we were ranked 602 at the time.
And now Gary and Karen want to climb all the way to the top spot on the list.
But number one, they've got like 300 odd reviews, you know? I mean, and they're well worthy of it, obviously.
Today, there's a chance for Gary and Karen to cash in on an important day of celebrations. On the 23rd of June each year, the festival of San Juan or St. John is celebrated across Spain to mark the arrival of the summer solstice.
San Juan starts the official summer season. It also coincides with the children finishing school. Everybody congregates on the beach. But everyone's on the beach and they're partying and drinking, and on the back of that, with so many people around, you hope if you can have just a little bit of that pie.
Gary and Karen are counting on San Juan to bring in business and give them a chance to improve their online rating. But with most of the tourists opting for a meal on the beach, it's a slow start to the day. Will Gary and Karen manage to attract some of the tourists, or will the San Juan festival prove to be a washout?
Tonight, say we really don't know how it's going to go tonight.
The Haute-Vienne department in the green heart of France, with 83 million tourists flocking to enjoy its sunshine, food and wine, this is officially the most visited country in the world. For Matt and Helen Bradley and their 3 sons, building a new life across the Channel has been all about making a change. Before they left London, Matt was a jobbing actor and Helen was a stay-at-home mum.
We wanted out. We were on a council estate in southeast London and thought we just kind of wanted, you know, a different type of life, really. So we came to Matt's uncle's gîte and then just never went, really, did we?
It was just getting too stressful, you know, one life, you know. And so we ducked out.
After moving to France, Matt and Helen set up their own construction firm.
I know, yes.
Oh, there's your other foot, darling.
Matt, that actually nearly did.
No, I'm sorry. Sorry, that was irresponsible.
But after an injury, Matt had to wind up the business.
I couldn't move my shoulder, and I got rid of everyone. And so I was trying to build with one arm. So I went to my physio and said, could you write a letter for me? So I read the letter that she wrote for me, and it said, he's as close to a breakdown and depression as I've ever seen. I said, all right. That's enough. Just the first couple of the lines would have been all right.
Matt and Helen are currently trying to get their finances in order. They've bought a gîte, which provides income from May to September, but they are down to their last €6,000. They are building their own house, and to cut costs, they've already moved in.
You're very good, darling. If I put those on, it actually makes your job look a lot better. We've got a hand-picked selection of the best builders available working on our house at the moment, which is Helen and me.
And Matt.
And so we've done everything, literally everything from foundations up to roof.
The gîte brings some money in, but without the building business, the Bradleys need another source of income. But Matt has a plan.
I was looking for something else to do, and the more I read, the more I kept coming back to hypnosis.
After 7 years of training, Matt has qualified as a hypnotherapist, treating everything from insomnia to panic attacks. Today, Matt has an appointment with one of his first ever clients.
We have a time pressure for this room because people have to be lying down and they have to be comfortable. So at the moment, I'm actually going to the clients' houses. It's not ideal. Yesterday, I was doing it and there was a dog howling downstairs throughout the whole of it.
For Matt to be able to work, furniture and clutter aren't the only things that need to be cleared out.
It's in our living room, which means that obviously I've got to get out of the house. So yeah, we all get out of the house and then roam the supermarket for hours on end.
Hi, Pauline.
With his family evicted, Matt can get to work.
Look, are you comfortable on that sofa? Because it's
Yes.
so deep.
Yeah,
I can
it is
put
quite
some,
deep.
it is deep.
Well, nearly.
No. Let's put that there. Put that there.
Matt's first client, Pauline, lives nearby and has decided to try hypnotherapy to get rid of her occasional panic attacks.
If you were to give that feeling of panic that you had, a number between 1 and 10, 1 being not really bother you at all, it's okay, and number 10 being very, very worrying, scary and very emotional.
Yeah, let's say something between 8 and 10.
If Matt's clients are surprised at the results of his sessions, they're not the only ones.
Sometimes I can't believe that people walk out and go, I can't believe it's gone. And I'm like, oh, I can't believe it either. You know, it's a miracle. But they do, don't they? They walk out and go, it's gone.
It's mad.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
But did Matt fix Pauline's problem?
Yes, he did. He did, yeah. He has a nice approach. It's very close, very familiar, but also very professional. It's nice.
Time will tell if Pauline's problem has gone away for good. But for today, despite a makeshift consulting room, it was a successful session. But there's another obstacle to making this a viable income for Matt. His business is in one of France's most remote regions.
You look around you and you can see how inhabited it is. You know, there's not enough people around at the moment to make it work in English, so I'm doing it in French and starting to build it with a French clientele.
But with funds dwindling, their business will have to grow, and quickly.
I nearly went in my eye there.
Sorry, darling. I would say we've probably got till the end of the summer to turn a part-time income into a revenue. 3 months to get the business of hypnosis up and running and making its own way, and 3 months to finish the house, which will take us to the end of summer. And then we'll have to start looking at food banks, probably.
We're not going to starve to death, are we?
No.
Not with the leeks that we're growing down
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Check out leeks out.
On the Costa del Sol, the Jones family have just managed to avoid being evicted from their new home.
Gagging. Is that mine?
There you go, that's yours.
After spending their first night at their new address, they are now getting to know their surroundings.
I've nicknamed these mountains. This one up here is the Valley of Joy. It looks like a pair of boobies. And that one there is the Horny Mountain, because up there it looks like a horn.
Which one do you like the most?
Big boobies.
With their bar on the Costa yet to open, the Joneses are down to their last €800. But they've decided to spend 13 of them on one luxury item.
Becca was moaning, saying that she hadn't got a pool. And so we decided to treat her to her own pool. And there it is, Becca's little haven, there.
When it's too hot, you'll all be jumping in.
If I jump in that, the bloody water will jump out.
At 9:30 on the dot, the Joneses set off on their daily commute to Ben Al Madina, home to their new bar. They're hoping to open the bar this week, but they're still waiting for their utilities to be reconnected. A common problem for many British expats opening bars in Spain.
The biggest pitfalls is that the bars aren't open and they will need some work. Things like electric, water, all those will have to be reconnected. But it will take time. It could take 2 or 3 weeks.
It's been a week since the Joneses filed their request for water and electricity. But they still haven't been reconnected. This will be one more day without income, and they still need to clean the bar.
One there.
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Here's another way of cleaning. You buy bottles of water, and then you've got water to clean with. You pay for water one way or another. The only thing is I can't have hot water, I've got to clean it with cold water. But we've found if you leave this water out in the sun long enough, it goes warm anyway.
The bar hasn't been cleaned properly for months, so Wendy and Becca have their work cut out.
No.
Ugh. That's why it stinks so much.
That has not been flushed or cleaned. That's going to need a good scrubbing and bleaching.
Nothing a mum armed with 3 gallons of mineral water can't fix.
get this done. It does. But hopefully, this will give it a good cleaning and flushing.
While Wendy is up to her elbows in bleach,
I'll make it smell a lot better.
on the terrace, the boys are busy being a live advertisement for Skiver's Rest.
You did nothing yesterday. Look, you're making an old woman struggle. You're just sat there.
Once they get going, they're really good workers. It's getting them to move in the beginning. Yeah. Like all men.
Do you need some help?
Yeah, please.
Come on, start clearing this stuff out.
You get a TV. Young man.
Young man with a bad back.
I've a bad back.
So it's all hands on deck.
I need a break.
But with no aircon in 35-degree heat, it's hard work.
I'll tell you something, last night, I was sat outside on the patio with a builder's bucket full of water with my feet in it. Oh, it's lovely.
The Joneses now have just €650 left. And cleaning the floor with mineral water is literally pouring money down the drain. Wendy has done the sums, and unless things change, they might be in trouble.
I wanted to be open today, but it ain't happened. I've now got to feed my family for another week with no income coming in. I basically want everything ready to just stick glasses and bottles on and open the door and say, we're open. It's got to be open by next Friday now. We're really squeezing every last penny we can in order to just last out this final week.
At Sam's Bar in Fuengirola on the Costa del Sol.
1 ham and cheese and 1 chicken mayo. Do you want any chips at all with them or anything?
I'm all right with that.
Yeah, Sam? Yeah. Take these menus away, guys. I'll put your order in. Lovely. Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you.
Owner Gary is hoping to cash in on one of Spain's biggest festivals, San Juan.
San Juan is massive over here in Spain. We're right on the front, and we're hoping to cash in on a bit of that.
It's not just sales that Gary and Karen are after.
It's very hot today, isn't it? It's boiling.
As newcomers, they are currently low down in the online rankings. But they're determined to get good reviews and climb all the way to the top.
You don't like it too hot?
Oh yeah, we love it.
You like it? Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say we love it because there's one person who's in it for 2 minutes and says, I think I've got to move. Who's that? You.
This year, thousands of people have turned up in the Costa del Sol to celebrate San Juan. But for the moment, they are not budging from the beach, and what's worse, they've brought their own drinks. But Gary's sure they will come his way eventually.
If it is busy, and there's lots of people on the beach and they want drinks, and we've got all the takeaway cups in and everything, they're going to come to us, hopefully, for the drinks. It might be a bit later on in the evening, because as the night goes on, the beer runs out and runs dry, and then they're going to come over to us. That's what we're hoping.
But they've just found out some insider information.
We've been told that we're at the wrong end of it, of where it's most busy. It's more busier right down in Fuengirola. Some bars actually around here and some restaurants are actually closing early.
Despite the tip, Gary and Karen decide to stay open.
Menus? Yeah, absolutely, yeah. But obviously, me and Karen, we're taking no notice of that. We're going to stay open and we're going to give it a go. Lovely. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Choosing to ignore their neighbours' advice is a brave decision.
To be honest with you, we've gone into it eyes wide open anyway. If we were to listen to that, in fact, we listened to that, we'd be closing now anyway. 1 small, 1 large. I'm never going to assume. So is that one? Yeah. Enjoy your drinks. Is it going to work? We don't know. Small beer, 1 large and 1 small, yeah? OK. A chocolate milk for table 6.
Staying open means that Gary and Karen will have to pay 2 staff, so there's a lot riding on this.
2 Fantas and 1 water? And a water as well, yeah? OK, guys. Yeah, 6 drinks to another table. We'll come back for your food order, all right?
Halfway through the day, it's time for Gary to take stock.
Yeah, to be honest with you, a slow start to the day. But as the day's gone on, we got our usual lunchtime rush. And that was a real good, steady afternoon.
But it's the evening when they make the most money. And with the beach celebrations hotting up, Gary's worried he might have made the wrong decision to stay open.
Looking around, there's more There are now more people turning up, more people going out to the beach, families, taking the barbecues and the food and the drink, and there's a guy just taking his music system across the road. At this stage, I can't see San Juan for us being particularly great.
San Juan's festival is a massive part of Spanish life, held not just in Fuengirola, but throughout Spain. It attracts millions of youngsters to the coast, where they party until the early hours of the morning. The Spanish locals are all celebrating on the beach, but the good news is British tourists are flocking to Sam's, the perfect place to watch the celebrations.
Are you eating, guys, are you? Are you eating? Yeah, smashing. You're welcome to have this table then. All right, get a couple of menus.
So 2 ice creams, 1 with chocolate sauce, yeah? Yeah, I can pick a bill. Yeah, no worries. A double vodka. Okay. Anything else? Yeah.
It's now 11 o'clock, and it looks like Gary was right to ignore the warnings.
Thanks very much, mate. Thank you. Have a nice night, ladies. Thank you. Cheers. Thanks very much. And do you know what? We've had a really, really good night, actually. It picked up for about 7 o'clock onwards, it picked up. Our kitchen's just closed now, and we've had a really, really good night, surprisingly. We've not had a table spare. And, yeah, entertainment going on as well. It's fantastic, like, you know.
With Gary and Karen's fortunes once again on the up, will this expat couple manage to keep the momentum going? Haute-Vienne, central France. After leaving London, Matt and Helen Bradley have fallen in love with the beautiful rural surroundings of the village of La Maze.
We moved a bit, we travelled around France, but we keep coming back to this part of France because it's as pretty as anywhere.
Eager to live a simpler life, they are building their own house. But they're quickly running out of cash, so Matt's now focusing on getting his new hypnotherapy business up and running. He's had a handful of customers so far, and his first experiences are encouraging.
I said, so, OK, try and get up. And she got up and was like, I can walk. And I said, is the pain gone? And she said, yeah. I said, so why are you walking like that? Stand up straight. And she did. And she started crying.
Matt is trying to get his hypnotherapy business off the ground.
Grass needs cutting, but that's all it's grown in 2 weeks, which ain't bad, is it?
But the Bradleys also have their gîte to run. One set of guests has just left, and they have to get the house ready for the next.
It's neat, isn't it?
Currently, this is the Bradleys' only source of income.
Yeah, all washed up. Nothing in the dishwasher.
Are there any lollies in the freezer? Let's get down to business.
Matt and Helen share the house chores in the same way as they do the building work.
You would say that this didn't need cleaning again, is what you would say if you were doing it.
I wouldn't be cleaning it again. The total we got it for was €30,000. Helen and I have done all the renovation here, so from the double glazed windows to the upstairs to the barn.
You could just brush as you're chatting.
You see, constant harassment. So now I reckon this is probably worth about 180,000 in the, well, we know it's worth about 180,000 because we might have to sell it.
After all the work they've put into it, selling the gîte would be a great shame. To keep it, Matt has less than 3 months to grow his hypnotherapy business. Seeking inspiration, he's on his way to meet a successful local alternative practitioner.
We're going to go and see a guy called Michel, French guy, who's a magnetizer. Now, I'm not quite sure what a magnetizer does. He uses a lot of sort of Eastern ideas. I know he's very busy. It's like how he gets on with the business side of things. So he's interesting. I'm interested in what he does and to see whether we can swap some practical ideas.
People travel miles to the small village of Jumiac in Haute-Vienne.
Michel. Hello.
To see a colourful local character, Michel the Magnetizer. Since he opened his alternative practice 15 years ago, Michel is convinced he's had success treating all kinds of ailments.
Somebody comes in, maybe they burnt themselves, or the kids burnt themselves, he can take the heat away and he'll take the burn away.
Avec les équipes de foot, des fois on m'appelle que je vais...
Ah oui? So he's saying sometimes he gets called with the footballers because they twist their ankle. He not just stops the pain, but he puts the nerves back in place.
Michel has 20 to 30 clients every week, so Matt wants to observe his work to understand why he is so popular around these parts.
Yeah, so he's saying he's looking at my energy levels, and at the moment I'm tired, which is true. And I don't know if it works, if it works, well, fantastic. Interesting, merci beaucoup. I feel more sort of energised. My eyes feel as though a little bit more with it, as opposed to trying to fight the fatigue.
Re-energised, Matt gets down to the nitty-gritty. How can a holistic business thrive in such a remote location?
So there is bookings, and that's why I've got an awful lot to learn from him. I mean, in a little place like this, it's absolutely booked out.
Matt's operating in a completely different discipline from Michel's.
He said he was born with this ability. Well, I haven't been born with that talent. I'm coming from a real practical side. I just think that we can sort of refresh, recharge thoughts and where we're going, and we can make more positive choices. Au revoir, merci.
But the visit has opened his tired eyes.
If he's getting that much business, one of us is doing something wrong, and it ain't him. No, he said he started off like that, and he said yours will build. He'd heard good things about me. I don't know if he was just being nice, but I'll take it.
Although buoyed from the visit, Matt remains realistic.
I do worry about it, financially. How can it be supported? Because, of course, I could go and get a job doing some building work, but my heart's not in that anymore. It would take the energy that I need to promote the hypno. I've got much more to offer as a hypnotherapist than as another builder. There's a lot of good builders around front.
In Ben Al Madinah on the Costa del Sol, the Jones family are no closer to opening their new bar, as they are desperately waiting for the electricity and water to be switched on.
I wanted to be completely my own boss. I didn't want to run a bar under a brewery anymore, which is what we've done in the UK.
Lovely.
But these new bar owners are determined not to waste any of this downtime.
We're all hungry.
So they are testing out a dish that they hope will bring punters flocking to the bar. Cerdo a la plancha.
You can serve them all on a baguette and everything, and it's a salad and a bit of crisps on the side, and it's a quick and cheap meal for us to prepare. And I think the customers will like it. You can cook them, no matter what, on the frying pan or on the plancha? Plancha? Plancha, I'll get my words right sooner or later. Plancha. It's just basically deep frying them until they're nice and golden. Bit of seasoning, that'll do.
We're offering something that I suppose any sort of culture can relate to, because it doesn't really relate to any culture, if that makes sense. It's not Italian, it's not English, it's not French. It's just,
Now choose your words carefully, Becca.
It's just mixing it up in our own way.
But to create magic in the kitchen, every sorcerer needs an apprentice.
I like eating food, but that's about as much experience as I get. I'm really good at that.
James has to learn what Carl can do. Within 6 months, James will be able to do.
He's doing a good job. It's about time he did something.
Do you want me to eat the lettuce or wear it?
Ta-da!
Oh, that looks nice. Thank you.
And this is not the only dish Carl has devised. He has plenty more clever ideas.
And here we go. A burnt Neapolitan. There you go. Bob's your uncle. Have a try. Oh.
With the bar menu sorted,
I'll pay for that.
all the Joneses need is the utilities reconnected at the bar so they can stock up on food and get ready for the opening.
One word. Yum.
But the next morning,
Nothing on.
they still have no electricity or water.
Oh. So that's it.
Everyday living costs and their 80-mile commute mean that they are now down to their last €120, and their opening day is drifting further away.
My advice is have a lot of money because you've got to live for 2 months and you earn nothing in that time.
At the moment, the situation is dire. I've got enough food in the cupboards for the next 3 days.
I'm getting annoyed about it.
You ever tried living with 2 blokes that don't get food? They've become very ratty.
The Joneses filed their request at the Spanish Water and Electricity Board over 2 weeks ago. All they can do now is wait and hope.
God! Are you all right? Have you hurt your back?
How embarrassing.
You missed the whole thing.
If you lose your sense of humour, you might as well just curl up your toes and die.
I can't get up.
The Joneses may be in a difficult situation, but if they can turn it around over the next week, they may still be in with a chance of success.
I'm dire. You're desperate.
Money can't buy your happiness, but it certainly helps you along in life.
My mobile's been cut off, mine and Carl's, and hers is going to be cut off next. I'm getting frightened. Might have to sell this place before we even open it.
Next week we're going to be homeless, we're going to be barless, we can't afford the rent, we need the electric on. I just literally said, listen, I'm at my wit's end. What can you do? So we're literally just crying out for help now.
Just 15 kilometres down the road in Fuengirola, it's the height of the summer season and the start of a new day for Sam's Bar.
Oh, I tell you, honestly, God.
Its owners, Gary and Karen, have been working hard to make Sam's a success. But this morning, they are leaving it in the care of their staff while they enjoy a slice of their new life in the sun.
Karen, will you just slow down a bit?
I'm excited.
I know you're excited.
With a parasailing trip booked by Karen, something she had promised herself she would do once the bar was up and running.
This is the guy that we're looking for.
This is the guy we're looking for. It's the guy you're looking for.
I am, yes.
Karen,
I'm Karen, I am.
Yeah.
Kevin, right? Gary, you're not scared, are you?
Absolutely, yes, I am.
The port is the starting point of today's trip. After months of hard work at their bar, Gary and Karen will have a chance to get a bird's eye view of the Costa del Sol as they rise 600 feet in the air in a parachute towed by a powerboat.
These are like bloody jelly.
Not everyone is excited about it, though.
I'm really not looking forward to it. My stomach is just doing somersaults here, like, you know, but things we do for Karen.
Scared?
No, anxious.
Anxious?
That's the word. I might kind of let go of my iron at some point.
Are you ready?
No, Karen, you know I'm not.
Time for a quick safety briefing.
Fire exits are here.
Up until this morning, I loved it here in the Costa del Sol.
It's beautiful.
And in around about half hour's time, I'm going to love it once again.
And there's no turning back.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's a rare chance for the pair to enjoy their incredible surroundings as they take in the views of the Costa del Sol and also of their bar, Sam's, which has steadily been growing in popularity over the course of the summer.
I knew that we'd do okay, but I didn't believe that we'd do this well. It's exceeded expectations, which is just, for me, yeah, I'm definitely living the dream. The future is looking rosy.
It's fantastic now I'm back. I can't even stand up in Mexico.
It was amazing. You're looking a bit green. The same colour as the sea. Same colour as the sea.
Gary might not have enjoyed the trip, but just 2 weeks later, there's a piece of news which does cheer him up.
You just want to top that up with hot water, do you? No problem.
Gary and Karen had a firm goal when they opened, to make Sam's the most popular bar in Fuengirola, and now they've reached an important milestone.
Ladies and gentlemen, if we could just have your attention, please, just for 1 minute, just 1 minute of your time. We just want to announce something that's we're very proud of, an achievement we made here today, actually. When we first started off a little over 4 months ago, we went on TripAdvisor, which I'm sure you've all heard about. And in the area of Fuengirola and Los Boliches, there at the time was 650 bars and restaurants along the coast here. Obviously, we were new in, and we were ranked 656. It was our aim, obviously, to try and get ourselves up, get into the top 100 initially, and then from there on in, try and build on it. But the day we received yesterday, we received notification from TripAdvisor themselves that the bar that you are now sat on, Sam's Bar today, we actually got to #1. Thanks very much for that. So it's obviously it's mine and Karen's bar, but we've got a tremendous team behind us as well. And yeah, we do work hard, and it's the reviews that people like yourselves, you put in for us as well. And you know, we don't...
Whether we get a free drink or not.
Do you get a free drink? We actually put the prices up now, we're #1. So thanks for reminding me of that. Tonight, ladies and gents, 10% on top of your bills tonight, courtesy of this man here. Thank you, sir.
After putting so much into the business, they couldn't have dreamed of a better result.
Very proud moment for us, 600 bars and restaurants here in Fuengirola and the Costa del Sol. And there it is, #1.
It's a bit overwhelming, really, in 4
It is.
months. I didn't expect it this soon. I didn't expect #1, really.
Not really, 650 odd.
Top 10 maybe, but #1.
There are still 2 months before the end of the summer season, and the big question now is, what's next for the owners of the best bar in Fuengirola? Next time, there's an important family conference.
I think a line needs to be drawn in the sand.
As the Joneses fight to keep their dream alive.
No, I don't want to go back to the UK.
Matt is on the look for clients.
Here we are, 2 people, looking good.
But will his demonstration win the work he so desperately needs?
You did something for me that really sort of changed my life.
And at the end of their first season,
I'm the cocktail queen at the moment.
Gary and Karen reckon they've made it.
Is that what you're going to give me?
And now have their eyes on a new business.
Basically, me and Karen want it.